I'm Reece Stein on Parley's Creek, where some huge Utah natives are doing just fine. Now, these are the original Bonneville cutthroat trout, the trout that were here before the pioneers arrived, and efforts are underway to make sure they stay here. A caution right off the top: you are not allowed to fish this way. Biologist Mike Slater is using a low-powered generator to stun and capture Bonneville cutthroat trout on Parley's Creek.
The bottom line is we're just trying to conserve the native Bonneville cutthroat trout.
From this tiny stream that you could almost step across, gorgeous Bonneville cutthroat appear from the depths under the spell of Slater's generator. Technicians, quick with the nets, scoop them into buckets.
It's amazing to see, a 21-inch full male pulled out of a creek that you could just step over. It's wonderful because people just don't know they're in there.
Parley's Creek, Mountain Dell, and Little Dell reservoirs serve as natural fish hatcheries for these rare fish. They're the direct descendants of Utah's original cutthroat that lived in Lake Bonneville and took refuge in mountain lakes and streams after Bonneville drained. Other fish species imported by early pioneers diluted the pure Bonneville strain and reduced their numbers. 30 years ago, Bonnevilles were known only to exist in 6 waters statewide, but a concerted effort has expanded that to over 260 waters, with breeding populations in every region of the state. They have become popular fish for anglers in small lakes and streams.
A lot of streams, Spanish Fork drainage, Diamond Fork a little further to the south, working our way towards the north, obviously here in Parley's Creek, Mountain Dell Creek, and then everything in between. We're doing a lot in some of the high lakes, White Pine, Red Pine, Upper Bells, some of these places where you get to hike a little bit.
Another caution: cutthroat must be released on some of the waters, including Parley's and Little Dell Creeks and Little Dell Reservoir. Check the 2009 fishing guidebook. Slater will return all of these cuts, but first his crew will measure and weigh each fish, then strip eggs from the females ready to spawn.
These fish have been genetically tested. They're pure strain Bonneville cutthroat trout. They're the same fish that used to be here when Lake Bonneville was here.
Milk from the males is added to the eggs, and within seconds,
fertilization has occurred.
the fertilized eggs will be hatched and the trout raised in the Camas Fish Hatchery until they're big enough to be stocked back into the wild. It multiplies the success rate.
In the wild, if we let them spawn, which we are, we're letting them do a little bit of spawning, we might have 5 to 10% success. Whereas if we take them into the hatchery setting for a month or two, we'll get upwards of 80 to even 90%. So that gives us a lot more fish to play with.
The man who runs the Parley's water treatment plant says the fish help keep the reservoirs clean, which keeps treatment costs down, and the pristine water source helps the fish grow to these amazing lengths.
This is snowmelt, so we are first users of this water, so it really helps to have this clean water for the citizens of Salt Lake. And the fish, you betcha.
The eggs are off to the hatchery, and the fish, after a bit of an ordeal, are okay. They're going back into the stream. I'm Reece Stein.